Good afternoon, America. I'm Darren Dione Aquino, coming to you live from my home in West Hempstead, Congressional District Number 4. I'm coming to you with a very, very heavy heart. Very upset about our veterans and the disgrace that falls on them from the country and the people we elected. I was reading the Constitution to make this a better government if I'm elected, and how we can do that. Well, the first way we do that is we don't put another lawyer in there. We don't need another lawyer because lawyers have deprived us of everything, and they blame the other guy. They use their legal ease to give us the legal B's, and you'll see what I mean. And here's why. This November 4th, I'm sending this out to the nation, and I hope some of you do it. I really hope all of you do it, but at least some of you get up and do it. Your veterans' lives depend on it. The dimming of the brightness of this nation is getting dimmer by the day. And we did this every election for the last 20 years. Some presidents have been good and done some great things. George Bush was a great president, and he did some great things for me as an advocate, and he helped all of the people that I represented. He made a few mistakes, but not like the monumental ones others made. This president currently said how good he was going to take care of our veterans. I've been fighting for 28 years for veterans. There was one veteran, Frank Mosa, who is a Vietnam veteran, a Hawk missile crewman. I'm going to show you what lawyers do. A Hawk missile crewman who became deaf today. He's still deaf. He's a neighbor. He lives just blocks away. He has no hearing. That he wears a hearing aid that really, the hearing becomes worse. And it's a direct result of service to country. Sitting on that missile launcher as a Hawk missile crewman. It's kind of a tongue twister. But launching those missiles for the safety of this nation, what we hold near and dear, these colors don't run, and Americans don't either. But what we had is a lot of running candidates that ran the other way when it comes to serving the people. That ain't right. And it's wrong of us to allow them to do it for so long. Let this veteran be the wake-up call. So I'm going to ask every single American, as this goes global, because it will go global, just like the disaster of our veterans. Now other countries are looking at us in a very bad and weak way because we can't even take care of our own heroes. Fathers and mothers who lost sons and daughters who lost fathers and mothers. Hear me when I say this. Here's our Constitution and its founding. Those 56 brave men committed treason to set these freedoms in place for us. We disgrace them today as well. That's why I decided to run. And I got in late because my campaign manager, Johnny Russo, a New Yorker, New York City resident, took ill with an appendix issue and made me miss the deadline. So I'm not going to be on a major line, but God would have it that way because I've created a line, and that line is going to be what it says here. Get a good look at this. It's online, and there's the name of the line. But let's read this to you, and you're going to see more of the sites being built. I'm doing this as a grassroots activist, and people around the country are sending nickels and dimes from their Social Security checks because I'm on Social Security as well. But if I take this office for a short term, I'll only take it for 10 years, not more, not less. I didn't plan on being a congressman. I was perfectly happy being a national advocate for disabled because I myself am disabled, but able to fight this fight in a way that nobody else can. Why? Because I have the experience of fighting government. I fought government. Go to the website, www.adaadvocates.com, and know about me, or Google my name. My record is true, but it's not a record. It's my responsibility as an American. And let me tell you why. Whenever, let me go back to the first part of it. This is in my statement of candidacy, which will be available to you. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Those veterans had a right to be cared for. Unalienable, which means untouchable. Do it. And we elected people to do it. See with your own eyes that they didn't do it. Your sons, your daughters, friends of mine. My cousin came back in good shape. One a captain in the United States Marine, the other one a colonel, my other cousin, my first cousin, a colonel in the United States Marine, serving since Vietnam, a 20-year career man. Served this country in many capacities. We're very proud of our family members. They wouldn't allow me to go and enlist at 17 because they said polio would hinder me. I didn't think it would. I thought I could still be propped up someplace and have a gun and defend this country. And I'll do it tomorrow because I believe in this country and for which we stand. We the people, we stand. But now we're falling, and we've allowed it. We cannot put lawyers in office. Lawyers took this Constitution, and that's why our veterans are suffering. In my district, 3 lawyers are running. One who just was elected to district attorney because she has a popular name, because she looks like a good crime fighter. So she's good at fighting crime. Let her fight crime. We have to reset everything in place. And I'm going to read and show you where it says that. And it's your responsibility as an American. That's why I've come up to do this. That and 20,000 emails from around the country saying, it's your time, why don't you run? Why don't you run? You'll make a difference. I've made a difference here. So I figured if I do enter Congress, I can make a bigger difference on the whole. Because if they're not with us, they're against us. And then we'll find out who in government needs to be replaced. I suggest this election day to every American, let's put in a new Congress. Everybody gets voted out. We can do that. And I'm going to tell you why we have to do that, because the Constitution says it. Let me go back and read. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How happy are you today, America? I'm very saddened by our veterans. That's a paramount issue. And in any newspaper article about me, I've always made them a priority. Because without them, we don't have the freedom to do what I'm doing right now. And those freedoms are dwindling. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. We are the governed, but now we must re-govern this election day. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form. We need to reorganize. We need to understand and make them understand that we will no longer tolerate this. That if we got to run as citizens because we've lost trust in those that we trusted, our elected officials, who are worthless. They sit and tell us every day that it's that party and it's that party. In the beginning, there was only one party, and things were going pretty smooth. And then other parties came up, opinions, which is freedom, but opinions have become destructions to our life today. We don't want another opinion, and we don't want another lawyer. We have the Supreme Court for that. What we need is people to enforce what was already done. It's written here. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is our right. But it's more than that. It's our responsibility. And if we don't do anything, then anything that happens to us is our own fault. We're going to do something here. So what I want you to do is agree that we need change. And to make change, let's start something crazy. what they're going to think is crazy. Put a light on every night at your window to show that change is on the way. And we're getting rid of November 4th. Every congressman that's in there that didn't serve the people by record to show us what they've done, and that any new member coming in is not going to be a lawyer, but a person that has experience with life and had difficulty and overcame them by strategy, by strength, by perseverance, by his belief in this country. That's the kind of people we want. People who want to thrive and pursue and are determined to make it good for everyone. We have no prosperity because they took prosperity away. There are no jobs in this country because they gave it to immigrants. And they're giving them emergency aid, making it a tragedy. What about the tragedy here of our men and women? This country was founded to protect us first and then spread the wealth. And I love doing that. But your rights, it's not a right to, it's not a law for you to pick the person of your choice, be it a same-sex partner or be it the choice you make that has an effect on you. It's a law to, if it has an effect on me and your right interferes with mine, then it's a law. But to have the freedom of choice is your right. It says it here. I didn't write it. It was written for us. So what are we going to do, America? Put in Kathleen Rice, put in Blakeman, put in, I can't even say his name, Scaturro. I keep forgetting it because you know what? They have no record of remembering. They have nothing that you can remember that can count on. Everybody remembers my name, Darren Dione, because they saw me on television shows like The Sopranos, Law and Order, my favorite show and the best crew I ever worked with. But there are many actors who are coming out and support of this, but it's not about our fame. It's about our responsibility. Our responsibility to bring this country back on its feet, to take the shame they casted on our veterans. Don't allow it. Put the light in your window starting the second you see this. Put it in and leave it on till November 4th. So November 5th, when we wake up, we can turn the light off because we know we have the victory. Do you want your life to change? Then we make the change. They're telling us what to do instead of us telling them what to do. When I go to Congress with the people, I'm going with the people as the representative. You're only choosing me to speak because we're organized our thought and we've made our fight clear, and I'm going to present the fight. I represent. I'm not the boss. I'm the employee. All of them people out there now think they're our boss. That ain't how it is. Change, it says, whenever a form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is our right. It is your right. It is your responsibility to restore back to our veterans the dignity, the services they need. And we can't do it with this Congress. So we got to replace them all. So let's band together as Americans like we did that day on 9/11, because this is a greater 9/11 call. This is hitting the whole country, every veteran, everywhere, under the leadership that's in. I've done many things. Just go to www.88advocates.com. That's just part. I can't put everything on. I'm a nonprofit who's been helping people for no pay. The only thing we've got paid for was Social Security because it's individualized work. And even the lawyers capitalize, Binder and Binder, capitalize on the disabled and the veterans by delaying it to take longer so that they could take more of the retroactive money. I expedite cases. Once I win them and push them through, I get them paid in 10 days. They wait 6 months to a year because 25% goes to them. A lawyer. Are you hearing me, America? A lawyer. How many times have you been dissatisfied with a lawyer? How many times have they negotiated away your life or the injury? They've played it down that you've gotten hurt. I have to have a knee replacement because I fell in a Woodbury Country Club because it was unsafe, because they didn't clean up, because they hired young kids to clean up and do a man's job and to be responsible when they were kids during school. This is a facility where adults and seniors and people come to gather for a wedding. I fell and now I need a knee replacement. You know what they settled for me for? $30,000. $60,000, and then by the time I got it, it was $30,000. A lawyer did that. Wouldn't let me fight before a jury. Said, oh, can't do it. It's not good. You'll lose. I said, well, let's go to the jury. No, it's not in your best interest. They lie. Those are the same people that want to be in office. We need to stop them. We need to stop them now. We need to take back our country. Citizens, stand up. Stand up in South Dakota. We have a good senator there, John Thune. He's a good friend of mine. So I want to tell you, and I want to tell you hard and true. Stand up. Put the light on. Send back a YouTube. I'm responding to America under fire. America is under fire, and soon it will be underwater. And we'll have no rights. President Bush wanted us all to have the same coverage that Congress had. They almost threw him out of office for saying that. Do you know that? It was him that sent us the checks with that little surplus back. Remember? They shot that down too. Our very own representatives, be it Democrat or Republican, they want to look like they're giving us so that they keep their job. I'm going to be the only one. A friend of mine said, who is a dentist from Confident Smile, Lana, she said to me, Darren, what are you going to do when you're the only good guy there and you got to fight them all? I said, what I've been doing. I'll fight. I'll fight until we get what we want as a people. But now the only difference is I'll have a whole district behind me, all 760,000 of you. But across this country, there's 131 million. So I'm not doing this with money. I'm doing this grassroots. I got friends all over throwing in printing up documents for us, printing these up, two-sided, minimal cost, less than what it costs. Contribution of it is part from them, and I pay the other part. Thousands of pieces we have over here that we've been putting out, and the Scaturros and the Blakemans and the Rices have been tearing them down, trying to discredit or copy some of my information and use it as theirs. You heard it first here, and you'll always hear the truth here. We sent out a press release, but the Democrats control the press. That's why I'm running independent. Otherwise, if we don't run independent, we'll be running from Congress instead of for Congress. So we need it, America. We need to do it now. We need to do it now, right now, or you'll watch your veterans perish from the service they gave to this country. We didn't give freedom just to the politicians we elected. I'm not a politician. I'm an American. I'm in foreclosure. I'm going through all the struggles you are. That's what made me run. Carolyn McCarthy wasn't a politician, who was the former congresswoman, but she wasn't really that qualified to fight. She wasn't a fighter. She had one issue, the tragedy of her husband. They made it a gun issue and not a lifestyle. You understand, there's a lifestyle that we've been compromised with. Our life, our liberty, our pursuit of happiness has been compromised. Our privacy has been compromised. And we've elected people to take it away and smile, and they smile at us. And we give them a fat paycheck. But when Bush wanted to give us the same, and why shouldn't they have the same? They told him he was nuts. And then they made him a bad guy. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens, but I listened to the truth. We heard from his mouth what he wanted to do, and you heard all of Congress yelling what they didn't want him to do. Because that means giving away their surplus so that they can negotiate you. Let's change all of Congress. Let's make an upset that's never been seen and take back control step by step. When the Senate race comes up, they're out too. We oust them. We oust them unless they have a good track record. And their bills are there to prove it. We match them, we judge them by their successes for the good of the people they represent. That's what this means. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is our right, our responsibility to change the guard for the future security of this nation. I just want to tell you all, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. But on this election day, and if you want to know more about me, go to my site or just Google my name. No, I won't even direct you to my site because that says a lot of I've done. But, you know, it's in Google too. I've did things in Hightstown, New Jersey, and North Carolina, all over the place, in good. I'm not telling you for praise, but I'm giving it to you for a record. You need a record to judge the kind of congressmen we put in. Not just take their word because they say things or their name sounds popular to everybody. We need to investigate what I've done and how hard I've done it. And guess what? The thing that confuses everybody, I did it for no money. It stifles them because we're in a greedy, self-centered world. Because that's what we've done. We created this monster. by putting all of these people in office. Now we got to take their jobs away. Just like you, America, you lost your job. They still got a job. My wife lost her job for 2 years, 2.5 years. Fell into foreclosure. I was also a victim of those mortgages that they scammed me. I had to pay $30,000 to refinance, but I got scammed by the Ponzi scam too. So our laws aren't tough. It's my life experience and the things I'm going through now in the past 10 years that made me run for Congress. Some other members out there, I belong to the senatorial committee in Washington. I was a Reagan memo and a Republican for over 20 years, since 1990. Since 1983, when I voted Republican. And I just became an independent because both parties are out of control. They're having a party on our dime. No more party. Independent. I urge you all to go independent so that we're not bound to the party because the party's gotten away from its principles. What principles? Whenever a form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is our right of the people to alter or abolish, and to institute a new government. We can only put a new government in by putting new people in. Do you want a new government that restores the principles of its founding? Then let's do it. But let's fix our veterans first. They need us, just like we needed them when they did it. Now it's up to us to do it for them. Now we fight. Now the fight's ours. The fight's ours to go and make new congressmen and women, and those that are good to support them. We need to come out from the district and run to Washington with our leader, the one that we chose to lead us. They're going to choose me here. I'm the front runner, okay? I just came in late because of the illness of my manager. Which made it harder to raise money. But I don't care about raising money. I'm going to use every method that's available to us because we have a resolve. We're Americans. Our resolve is great. Our determination is greater. Our victory, greater still. I will achieve for us what was taken from us. But I can't do it without you. It's real important that we're together. It's real important that when I speak our voice, that you're behind me when I speak those words and when we take back what belongs to us, because we're taking it back. We're not giving anything to anybody anymore, because at the cost of the people of the state of New York and District 4, we've lost too much. Let's put in new people this November 4th, and let's do it for the next election as well. So if you want to vote for me, put the light in the window around the globe, around the United States, but even in your country. You know, we have allies because we have the same beliefs. We have dispute because somebody's coming against those principles. So even if you're someplace else, put the light in, make change if change is available to you. That's the kind of nation we are. But now our own leaders, who we've elected, are hurting us, and we can't have it no more. I'm Darren Dione Aquino, and I'm running for Congress in District 4 of Nassau County.